Hey guys, AJ here, back with another one for you. So guys, we're back at Bethpage, New York, right? This is going to be part 3 of just finishing up the last of the Bethpage, New York. This is the first sting that they ever did. And look at that, I'm telling you guys, look at like Chris Hansen dressed for battle. He's got the trench coat on. Look at that. He's bright hair and bushy tailed. Look at that, man. Look at that. This guy. So guys, we're going to jump into this. But before we do, guys, please remember to like, subscribe, drop a comment. It really helps to keep this channel going. Join the Discord, guys. I usually drop the link during the lives. Yeah, guys, and here we go. Oh, if you have a request, drop it in the comments. I will do your request. There's also a request thread in the Discord. Yeah, put your request there too, because it helps me stay organized. Okay, so where we last were was this knucklehead right here on the left is a New York City firefighter, and he was trying to talk to an underage girl, and then he chickened out, and then he went back home, and then was flogging the old dolphin on the webcam. For the decoy. So then Chris Hansen said, "You know what? We'll just bring the show to you, dude." So this is outside of his firehouse, and Chris Hansen's armed and dangerous. Look, he's got the chat logs, he's got the pictures, man. He's got the trench coat, he's got the perfectly styled hair, and even though it looks like it's wintertime in New York, he's got the tan. Dude, man. This guy on the left never stood a chance, man. He never stood a chance. Oh, man. And look at how tall Chris Hansen is, man. I'm 6'3". I think Chris Hansen's like 6'2", you know. Plus, he's probably wearing some loafers. They'll probably add like another inch or two to your height. So, yeah, man, he's towering over him, dude. And look at this guy. He is scared shitless. So, anyways.
Ryan? I made a mistake at the time. I made the judgment call to correct that mistake.
Is there anything else you want to say about this?
Yeah, I think people got to use their heads. People should know better.
Keep your fire truck in your firehouse. Just like, what's his name? Keep your jeans in your jeans. Oh, man.
Made a mistake.
So what happens now to all these men who were so clearly caught in the act?
Yeah, what does happen now, Chris?
To start, all of them were exposed by Perverted Justice, the online watchdog group. All the men's photos...
Guys, please remember that the first, I believe, 2 investigations, it was Virginia and Bethpage, New York, the cops were not involved. Then he had said that there's such a backlash from parents saying, why did these guys not get arrested? That's when they decided to involve the police.
Those phone numbers and chat logs were posted on its website. The firefighter was arrested and charged with using the internet to attempt to solicit a minor for sex.
Man, they got him. They got him. Look at that. Did he wear shorts to court? Look at all that media, dude. Look at that, dude, man. You are not having a good day, bro.
Sex and attempting to transmit obscene matter to a person under the age.
Who is that? Is that his mom right there? I wonder. Now, son, what did you get yourself into today? Imagine being a parent and finding out that your son is just a complete and total knucklehead, you guys. Think about how crazy that would be, right? Man.
Age of 16, Hogan has pled not guilty. This man, who told us he was schizophrenic, was admitted to a psychiatric hospital. So how would you react if 18 strangers showed up in your neighborhood in just 2 days? Probably a lot like these parents.
So you're 19 years old, right?
They show him Ed in NYC with the most punchable face out of like anyone outside of Sokol. They show them his segment. Look at the anger on this woman's face. So you're 19, right? Can you read between the lines?
Too angry for words.
19 years old?
I want you to say yes, I'm 19 years old.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. And guys, like, I know, well, all right, so for us TCAP fans, like, this is just common knowledge, so we can find it hard to believe that there's people that don't know that this stuff happens to, but this is back in the day, man. This is like, 2003 or whatever, 2004, where, like, where the internet was still kind of the Wild West phase, right? And parents honestly didn't know this. They did not know, So
We assembled a group of parents who live just a matter of miles from our hidden camera house. They all told me they were aware that computer predators are out there, but none was prepared to see what happened in their own backyard.
Personally, I'm totally shocked that many people responded, which just shows me that it's not something rare. It's not the 1 in a million guy out there. They're all over.
They're all over, and yet there is nothing to make them stand out in a crowd. Everyday members of the community.
What frightens me more is that these guys are guys you might know in your life.
You think? Yeah, guys, I told you, like, people used to think that all the predators look like Donald Morrison. Or they all look like Seabird. You know what I'm saying? Or even Stanley. But no, man. It can look like anyone. Black, white, old, Hispanic, poor, Muslim, Christian, army. You know what I mean? You just never know. And look at the surprise on their faces,
Mm-hmm. Right. That might be your neighbors, or you might socialize with these men and not know it.
Do you think that anything like this could happen to any of your children?
Look at Chris Hansen right there, man. I made a comment in the previous one where he was like, like, if you look at a lot of boxers in the Olympics, right? So we're so used to seeing them later on when they've gone pro and, they're a little bit older, but you don't see them when they're teenagers and they're amateurs and they're all like young and bright-eyed. That's Chris Hansen here,
Children?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
They're out there.
I do, because they're very inventive.
So inventive that kids might not even sense there's danger.
It's scary because I think sometimes kids think that, it's all a game and they're just, playing.
What's crazy is all these people are probably in their 30s, right? Or early 40s. And look at how, I don't want to say old, but look at how mature, I guess, that they look. Whereas, guys, go to Google and look up people in their 40s now. And look at how they dress and act. And you will, I guarantee these people's kids, kind of like the panel of the kids in the first part of this, where those kids look like little kids. They were in middle school, but they look like they were like elementary school, right? But you look at middle schoolers now, and like they dress like adults, talk like adults, like girls and guys from like, I want to say 11, 12, 13 on to people in their mid 30s and stuff, all dressed the same, listen to the same music. It's just really, really, really strange. It's like I'm 42, and I don't think that I look like this old. Not that, I don't know if it's just my attitude. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But hey, all these people look younger than all the all the predators, guys. They all look like crap. Even the ones that are in their mid to early 20s. It's just funny how society has changed since then, But there was a clear, like, line of like looks and behavior from between like teenagers, 20 somethings, people in their 30s and 40s, whereas now it's all just blurred, so like I'll go out to the bar, like go hang out or whatever, and like there's people who don't even, they think that I'm like 28. Well, I know black don't crack and all, but I'm like, no, I'm like 42. Or like I know people who are like 21, everyone thinks they're like 30. So that's what social media does, guys.
Along, and then they don't realize how all of a sudden it becomes somebody at your
But
back.
I think it's very easy for children to give out information unwittingly.
A good way to understand this, guys, is house show. Okay, look at this, guys. You guys remember House. So for all you guys that haven't watched House, watch House. The show is great, man, I have to say. You look at the cast. They were all in their 30s. So House was in his 30s in this show. This guy right here, next to House on the right, he's supposed to be like 38. And you would think that he was like in his 50s, right? Dr. Cuddy, you would think she was in her 40s, but she's supposed to be like 39. Right? And then his friend who's the surgeon or the oncologist, he's supposed to be like 39 also. That's crazy to even think about. So, anyways, I digress.
But if seeing what these men did wasn't frightening enough for these parents, hearing what these middle school kids tell me they experienced...
Look at how young these kids... these are like middle schoolers. There was a guy in my school, you guys, on the football team. Kid was like 6'3", like 240, with a mustache. This kid was an ogre, dude. He was huge, man. And then now you see a lot of these young kids now are 12, 13, 14, these young guys, and they're playing football and basketball. They're 6'5", 6'4". It's crazy, man. They didn't... It's crazy how it, like 15 years will do, change, so...
Experience online may be more shocking.
Has anyone here had a stranger say anything you felt uncomfortable about that was inappropriate? Has anyone ever tried to lure you?
That's sad. It's all the girls raise their hands. That's sad, man. It really, really is sad. It's not cool, guys. That's why I would say, like, one strike and you're out for this type of thing. If they catch you trying to solicit underage girls, you should just you'll go to prison for the rest of your life. I mean, underage people. That's it. No rehab, no light, no nothing. They should just send you to jail for the rest of your life.
You into going to an inappropriate website?
Yeah, they give you the link and say, like, come here to view my naked pictures.
And like most kids, they don't always tell their parents.
How many of you, after having been approached or having a scary experience in a chat room, have gone to their parents right away to tell them what happened? Nope.
Oh, man, that's so sad. You guys, everyone who's listening to this who has kids, man, please talk to your kids about this mess, man. This is everything. This is including Snapchat, Instagram. I don't even know what some of the new, even on like Kick and WhatsApp. You guys got to talk to your kids, man. Because remember that knuckleheaded sheriff's deputy corrections officer? He was meeting girls off of Snapchat and abusing them. So guys, you have to ask your kids what's going on, man. You have to have a clear idea of who they're talking to, why they're talking to them, if they're going to meet them or not, because this problem's even worse now,
Nobody? Why not?
Because we're scared of what they'll say. Like, if we'll get in trouble or yell at me.
Doesn't she sound like Casey? Right? She sounds like the decoy Casey. Look.
Why not?
Because we're scared of what they'll say.
See?
Like, if we'll get in trouble or...
I wonder if that's like her sister or something. Or guys, drop in the comments if that's actually her, or I don't know, but she sounds just like her.
Yell at me or ground me from not going online ever again.
There is a disconnect between parents and children here.
There's a huge disconnect.
Terry Schroeder, founder and CEO of iSafe, a nonprofit foundation that educates children across the country on internet safety, says parents and kids need to work as a team.
I do not encourage any parent after hearing this interview to say, I'm getting that computer out of here, because you will severely handicap your child educationally, socially.
And we all know that culturally, as Americans, if you tell us to do not to do something, it'll make us want it to do it even more. You remember the "I Can't Drive 55" song? Who sang that song? I think that was Sammy Hagar. Right? I can't. Yeah. I can't drive 55. Look at that, dude. Look at that, man. Look at that. Look It's on the back of a Trans Am. Is this not one of the most like early 80s things you've ever seen, man? Look at that. Sammy Hagar on the back of a Trans Am. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Look at that. Oh, they're auctioning off the car from the video, man. Look at that, man. Look at that. Yeah, he's still around, man. He's still performing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I digress.
Instead,
street smarts on the on the information highway. Look at that. Look at
Schroeder
that.
says parents need to educate themselves about online dangers and create open communication where a child feels.
Dude, who remembers these shirts from like old Navy with the little buckles on the sides? This has to be like the most 2000 shirt I've seen in a long time. Guys, just look at her desk, right? Look at that burnt CD of some kind there. You know, ghetto, you know, like 2000s computer monitor there. Old Navy shirt, you know. Look at that, man. Sign of the times.
Safe talking about inappropriate situations online.
Take the parenting skills that you use in real life and apply them in cyberspace. It's very simple. If something...
When was the last time that you heard someone call the internet cyberspace? That's how you know that you be talking to an adult. So, you hang out in cyberspace a lot? You remember they used to call it the net, you know, the World Wide Web, cyberspace? Yeah, I haven't heard any of those terms in a while, man.
Something is going on, talk to your child about it. If your child comes to you, listen to them.
Yes. In fact, Schroeder confirms what these kids told us. Most children are afraid to tell their parents about scary encounters online.
If they go tell their parents may not believe them, and then now they're going to get in trouble. And 9 times out of 10, what we tell the kids and what we tell the parents, it's usually not the kid's fault. They're innocent in this.
Kid is a victim of a crime.
Correct.
Basically.
A sex crime committed by predators who know exactly which of the kids' buttons to push.
It may be attention and affection. For another child, it may be gifts. For a lot of teenagers, it's romance. Just somebody who will give you this romance, pay attention to you, tell you how pretty you are, how nice you are, or whatever it is.
There's one guy right there coming right to the door.
These kids thought they were pretty hip to dangerous strangers online, but they weren't such know-it-alls once with their parents' permission.
And what's crazy, guys, is that this is when guys were like, you know, we're still saying, hey, I'm a guy trying to find or whatever. But, you know, there was an older guy who would come off as an older guy, even use their name, and try and talk to an underage girl or underage boy, right? But this isn't even talking about the ones that make like a fake identity and say, oh, well, you're a 12-year-old girl. I'm a 12-year-old girl too, trying to meet up with you. Let's hang out, right? Or like I told you guys about how these doctors in different places, all these girls will go and get Brazilian butt lifts from these doctors in like other countries and end up, you know, passing away. And then they hear about the doctor from someone that's portraying themselves as a beautiful Instagram model on Instagram. So they'll be like, hey, I'm a, 28-year-old Instagram model girl. I know this doctor that can help get you famous. And it turns out it was a guy the whole time. But that happens to kids too, where an adult guy will pose as a 12-year-old or whatever. Also like, hey, we can be friends. Let's meet at the play place. And then next thing you know, they're gone.
I showed them the results of our investigation.
So this is just a game, dude? Yes, it's a just game.
That was all like real? That all
it's
actually
totally real.
happened?
I don't like it.
Creepy.
I don't like it. Yeah, good. You shouldn't.
Pathetic.
Look at how angry this kid is, man. Look at that.
Game, dude. Yes, it's a just game.
That was all like real? That all actually...
You think? You know, like they just can't believe it, you know. And guys, yeah, this is a combination of like, what did the parent at the beginning say? Childlike naivete. This is a combination of kids aren't really taught to think, aren't really taught to prepared to think about this kind of stuff, right? That's why they need to have parents that are in charge so that they know better. Like, I don't understand people who think that parents, in the most basic sense, have a better idea of what's good for a child than what the child does, right? Because you have, like, a parent has more years of experience on the planet, right, than their children. This would be like a lion on the you know, on Serengeti or whatever. A lion that's been around for 15 years can teach its cub stuff through sheer experience alone. You know? So.
What happened? I don't like it. Creepy. Pathetic. Freaky. Disgusting. Scary. Weird. Reality. Wrong.
Show your kids that you do care enough and that they will not be penalized if something happens. And also, be willing to learn from your kids. You may learn a lot from them as it pertains to technology.
Based upon the fact that we all have computers in our homes, do we then have the responsibility of almost being a spy or a cop to see what the kids are doing on the computer?
I've always done that.
But if parents think they can completely protect their kids by installing standard software or setting ground rules...
Guys, I don't have any kids, but, you know, so my nephew, I would always just tell him just what to look out for and to trust your gut. That if something feels weird, get out of there, you know? And he's told me some situations where, you know, he was out with his friends and, you know, stuff felt weird, so he left, you know, or whatever. And it's like, dude, you got to trust your gut. You know what I mean? And doing some draconian, you know, software that's going to know, all that's going to do is just piss your kids off. But you just have to be able to like, I'm speculating here because I don't have any kids, but my parents, you know, they just gave me the tools to understand, like, what's going on, and then trusted me enough to use those tools, you know?
Think again.
We found ways to bend those rules and stuff like that.
So you know how to get around that stuff?
Yeah.
Have you ever done it yourself?
Yeah.
Even though your parents have said don't do that?
Rules are made to be broken.
America. Guys, these are kids. You know, you could shake your head all you want, but that's what kids do. They always push the boundaries, right? But the thing is, I think the issue is nowadays we have a lot of parents who want to be their kids' friends and not their parents. And that's dangerous because now a lot of kids have no boundaries at all, which leaves them open to be victimized.
Meet 11-year-old Laomi Wright. She's become so good at getting around the rules, her mother is ready to throw out the computer.
Let's put it this way, she's not using the computer anymore.
You thought you were being a responsible parent.
Right.
And doing just about everything you could to make sure your daughter was...
Where's her father at, I wonder?
Safe on the internet.
Right. Plus, she gave me her word. She wouldn't talk to people that she didn't know, so...
In spite of all that, your daughter was still talking to a stranger via instant messaging.
Right. It's pretty scary, I can tell you that.
To help solve Michelle's problem, we enlisted the help of Detective Mike Sullivan, author of Safety Monitor, How to Protect Your Kids Online. The first thing he noticed, Michelle had the computer in the basement, an out-of-the-way place where a child can operate unsupervised.
Put it in a public room, you know, right off the kitchen, dining room. You know, basically as you're going about your normal house chores, you're making dinner, you can look over and see the screen and check on what your child's doing.
Next,
it's crazy how they're talking about computers, but now kids have phones and tablets, man. How is this little strategy going to work then? Here, always have your kids using their phone in your line of sight. Good luck with that.
Detective Sullivan suggested setting up layers of defense, starting with internet service providers like MSN, Earthlink, or AOL.
Earthlink? When was the last time you guys heard Earthlink, dude?
Some type of parental control. Michelle has AOL, and although she had set up the controls, she wasn't using them correctly. AOL has recently updated its protective controls, making it tougher for kids to outsmart.
Everything is going to function through AOL, and then they're going to monitor what she's doing from there.
Next, our expert downloads WatchRight software that will allow Michelle to read all of Leomi's instant messages and chat room conversation.
I wonder how much WatchRight's paying this guy, you know?
Show you that. So you can keep an eye on what she's doing.
Look at that stash, dude. Look at that stash. You know who he looks like? He looks like the dude, Beverly Hills Cop. He looks like this guy on the right. Oh, they're doing a new Beverly Hills Cop, you guys. Did you see that? Axel Foley, huh? Interesting. Yeah, he looks like the dude in the middle, doesn't he? You guys haven't seen any of the Beverly Hills Cop films, dude. Oh my gosh, these are so good, man. These are so good, I must say. Look at that. Look at this, man. Oh, man. We watched this movie so many times in the 80s that we wore the tape out. What a great movie. This was prime Eddie Murphy, man. Look at this guy. Look at that. Yeah, his movies over the last couple of years have been really, really crappy. This is the guy he looks like. Look at that one. Here you go. Look at that.
Even if she changes her password on you, this program's still going to read it and let you see what she's been doing online.
If reading all her daughter's online messages seems too intrusive or time-consuming, the detective has another suggestion. Filtering software that stops Leomi from sending out personal information, like her home address,
Cyber Sentinel,
or phone number. The software would also detect a predator trying to make contact with Leomi, and then automatically send Michelle an email to warn her.
So if your daughter's at home and something goes wrong, the software, Cyber Sentinel, is going to send you a message at work saying, you know, you might want to call home.
Can you imagine being at work? And it goes to your work computer. Well, now it would probably go to your phone. But imagine you're at work and your son's trying to access some corn or whatever, and it pops up on your computer like, this is what they're trying to access. You're like, oh!
And it will actually tell you who the user online was, what was the inappropriate statement. So she said some naughty words, or someone said something of a predatory nature to her, you're actually going to see it in the mail.
And our expert has one more suggestion for Michelle. Software that will record Leomi's every move on the computer without her daughter knowing it.
So the program is like a VCR, showing you, hey, wait a second, this is what my child's doing online.
That's great.
Do you hear that beeping noise in the background? At her house. Guys, I am black, so I can say this. There's a thing where a lot of black people don't change the batteries in the smoke detector, and I don't know why that is. You hear that beep every like 90 seconds. Beep. And there's friends of mine, and I'm like, dude, how do you not hear that? Hear what? Beep. It's like, dude, turn that. Please change your battery. Please, guys, if you're hearing that beeping noise, change the battery in your smoke detector, man.
Hey, look at that.
This program is actually going to come in and say, wait a second, they tried to sneak a program by you, but you can still check them out.
Our expert says each program is very user-friendly and costs about $40. And it's clear both Michelle and the detective think it's worth it.
There's no silver bullet that's going to take care of everything. What you can get to is a state of peace of mind as a parent, that I've done everything I can do to protect my child while they're on the computer in my house.
I guess all the protective software in the world will not substitute for a good relationship between a parent and a child.
No, an active, involved parent is more than any match for any predator that's out there right now.
Now that our expert has installed and set up tough protective measures, Michelle is ready to let Leomi back on the computer.
Have you learned your lesson?
Yes.
That's Dateline for now. Join all of us at NBC News next time for another edition of Dateline.
Guys, so that's the first investigation, man. The first one they ever did. Crazy, right? How different things got, and even how different things are now with the Takedown episodes. So, all right, you guys, this is AJ. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, you know. Join the Discord, watch the lives. I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one, guys.